is arguable, but I think if you take a look at the body of evidence, Matt Smith has managed to parlay the success of his Doctor Who stint better than any other contemporary Doctor. I hear the arguments from the Tennant faithful, but, who was able to come back to reprise his role? Was it the guy who was no longer getting booked in any serious roles, or was it Daemon Targaryen? I rest my case. But while he's too busy acting his ass off and delivering the standout scenes of House of the Dragon Season 2 over in Harrenhal, Matt Smith has been kind of quiet in regards to opining about the current state of his former franchise. Haven't really heard him talk all that much about Doctor Who ever since he left the role and handed the keys to the castle off to Peter Capaldi to do an excellent, sterling job with. That is, until Chris Chibnall came along and completely and totally messed everything up, but need not rehash that. Everybody knows about how that debacle went, but now he's talking about where the show completely went off a cliff when everybody was excited. What was it, 11 million people in a 33 million person country tuned in to watch the first female Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, and then by the end of her run was reaching record lows, and then you have Ncuti Gatwa, the first gay black Doctor, reach all-time lows. Matt Smith is asking the question, why are people critiquing their performances? Well, gee, I don't know. Jodie Whittaker was a meme factory, and Ncuti Gatwa is just making it all about his gayness and blackness instead about anything cool when it regards to being a Time Lord. I wonder why people are a little bit tight about this. 11th Doctor actor Matt Smith speaks out on criticism directed towards Jodie Whittaker and Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who tenures, highlighting the power the show still has on audiences. Well, yeah, basically, Matt, during your time, during Tennant's 10th stint, the previously mentioned Capaldi's 12th, and, even Christopher Eccleston's singular season as the 9th Doctor, people look back at that stuff, very fondly, still watch it to this day. But as for Whittaker, there's a reason that she literally hasn't done anything since getting booped from the TARDIS, and Ncuti Gatwa, well, she's not even committing to, stick around much longer than what they already have shot. Highlighting the power of the show, still has on audience. Smith took on the role of the series' leading Time Lord following David Tennant's departure as the 10th Doctor in 2010, leading the series through seasons 5 and 7, and a milestone 50th anniversary celebrations. When Doctor Who was the biggest thing in TV in on and around that time, it was everywhere, man. An old being, with a young face nearing the end of his life, the 11th Doctor reckoned with letting others in once more, alongside finally facing the shame of the darkest day in the Time War, despite almost 14 years passing since his Doctor Who departure. That's kind of crazy. Smith recently shared his appreciation of the show with the Times, alongside his support for both Whittaker and Gatwa's tenures as the Time Lord. I'm going to take a wild guess that Matt probably hasn't even watched a second of that crap, because it's really bad, guy. It's really bad, but you already know that. While giving his honest thoughts, sure, wink wink, nudge nudge, not want to say anything too bad about the sci-fi series that allowed him to cut his teeth that he left in the dust over a decade ago. I mean, you can talk about the the good times that you had there, but let's keep it a buck. He's only going to say so many things. While giving his honest thoughts that the role propelled him into stardom, Smith praised both the show and its continued audience appeal. See, this is how you do it. Okay, before questioning how anyone could take issue with the series, check out Smith's full comments, and we will. It was overnight. He says that the impacts, nobody knew who I was, and then suddenly I was Doctor Who. Not much, but Ncuti's brilliant. Oh yeah, probably checking out this, what was the question? How much have you seen of the recent series? Okay, what do you think about Ncuti Gatwa? Not much, but he's a really good actor. He played the hell out of a Barbie. Feel very proud to have been in the show. This is a perfect pivot, okay? This is how you do it. It's not that difficult, okay? Because the way that Whittaker and Ncuti Gatwa have pissed off the fan bases, I mean, there's a reason that there's a big differentiation when it comes to people's appreciation of New Who. I'll just say it to that. Changed my life because a few shows are watched by the 9-year-olds, mom, dad, and the 83-year-old grandma. That's 3 generations, and you're in people's homes at Christmas. It's an amazing responsibility. Those debates reduce it to a place that it doesn't need to be in. People that attack Doctor Who blow my mind. It's about an alien who is cool and travels around the universe saving civilizations. What's not to love? Yeah, exactly. That concept, what Doctor Who intrinsically is, that's what makes it popular. That's what makes it a go-to for 3 separate generations. That's what you helped create it to become, Matt. I would be incredibly proud if I was ever a part of something like that. And he obviously is. But the reason that, people are a little bit tight when it comes to, Ncuti and Jodie's tenure is because it wasn't about being Doctor Who, okay? It wasn't about traveling around the universe saving civilizations. It was all about being a woman, and it was all about being gay and kissing people in poor Bridgerton ripoffs. That's the difference. That's why people still love Matt Smith, still, love the 10th Doctor, not the 14th Doctor. That shit was trash. And then they hold no regards for everything. It started to fully embrace identity politics, in so much that the future of the series, it's looking even grimmer. The proper terminology. It's looking even more grim. There you go. We're talking about a showrunner. We're talking about a writer here. We should probably have proper grammar. Even though this is an asshole who can't properly decide, what the villain of your show is going to have, the proper pronouns or not. But, we don't need to play into all of those trappings. But Doctor Who boss Russell T Davies explains the delay confirming the series' future. It's so funny that RTD has to talk about that stuff. Meanwhile, the show that the previous Doctor that we just talked about, and Matt Smith, has no worries at all in regards to his series' future. Hell, it's already been confirmed for a season 3 and a season 4. The entire story is going to get told, and he's going to be a part of most of it. Don't want to spoil the story of House of the Dragon, but Damon's, if anybody thought that he was cooked in season 2, A, you're wrong, and B, just wait for season 3. He's going to be doing some cool stuff. But as for, seasons 3 and 4 of Disney's Doctor Who, I wouldn't hold my breath. Some Doctor Who fans have been getting impatient, waiting to hear confirmation about the future of the BBC's long-running sci-fi favorite, especially given its recent partnership with Disney. Yeah, exactly, because you remember Doctor Who got $100 million to produce 2 seasons. 2 truncated seasons. The one that we just recently seen over the spring that pulled in record low viewership was 1 season and got split in half. Another 8 episodes and a couple of specials are supposed to be coming out, I think, in the next few months. But outside of that, we don't really know the future. We understand that the tenure of the Doctor is normally 3-4 seasons, outside of, obviously a few outliers, and I'm talking about New Who. When we're talking about the old stuff, those guys would go on decades-long runs, okay? Don't worry about it. But according to the master spin merchant, okay, Russell T Davies, you guys need not worry, who reckons everything is playing out as should be expected. Don't mind the overall negative appeal of the show. Don't mind the fact that nobody is talking about it a few months after its conclusion. Nobody's looking forward to the new season. Don't mind everybody, even if they do remember some of the episodes, holding their nose and plugging their ears and recalling any of those abysmal storylines. Everything is playing out perfectly. Despite what feels like a long time waiting for an official renewal for season 16, spoiler, it's not coming. The showrunner says that's just how these things go. Remember, guys, when a show is wildly popular, when it's loved by everybody, it takes time to get renewed for subsequent seasons, okay? House of the Dragon, that's an anomaly. The Simpsons, that's an anomaly too. Don't worry about it. Don't point to any successful network TV show. Don't look at any other, previous successes, even in this franchise where it was renewed for multiple seasons. Don't worry about that. Nah, this is just how this stuff goes. It's a new landscape. We have plenty of young fans, I think, right? That's the lie that we're going with. It's an industry decision. It's like any business. These things take time, he told SFX magazine, adding that Doctor Who fans shouldn't anticipate season 16's renewal until after the next season airs. Don't anticipate it until they see even worse ratings than what 15 produced, which led to the non-committal of BBC and Disney to continue to fund this ideological trash fire. Just wait, guys. Everything's going to come around. It's going to be great. Don't worry about it. I think the decision will come after the transmission of season 2. He said, that's what we're expecting, and that's what we've always been headed towards. Never thought anything else like this would happen, okay? We always knew that we would have to exhaust everything that we had in the can, everything that we were commissioned for, before we would get anything else. Heaven forbid there would be a business or a company that would be anticipatory of further goods and services to be delivered. That's never how this stuff works. Nobody ever stocks up on content, make sure that they lock down talent for multiple years, multiple seasons. Stuff like that doesn't happen in show business. Of course, trust me, I've been here before. We've done this all before. That's why, you just go back and watch any of the previous coverage that I've done on this show, you know that Millie Gibson is gone. Ncuti Gatwa is out there fielding different opportunities, and the only person continuing to bang this drum is in fact Russell T Davies, because he knows if this fails right here, the moniker of the guy who revived Doctor Who back in the cut ends up picking up another moniker, the guy who also killed new Doctor Who. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.